Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to use Mutex in Golang. So before I start showing how to use Mutex, I want to show what problem it solves through this program. So if you look at this code, what it does is basically there is a global variable here called x which starts from 0, and in the main function we try to call this increment function, and that increment function increases x by 1, and we call the increment function 1000 times using different goroutines each time. And we had a sync.waitGroup variable here which basically ensures that all the goroutines are finished before we finally print out the final value of x. So this may seem a bit over-engineered just to increase somebody's value for 1000 times, but this is like a representative of a real-world scenario where you may need to distribute your work among multiple goroutines, and each of them may need to access the same variable. So what happens in this case? So if I run this program, you see the value I get is 962. It's not 1000, which one would expect. If I run it again, I see 969. If I run it again, 973. So we are getting close to 1000, but not exactly 1000. So what exactly is happening here? Why it is not 1000? So what actually happens is that when we call this increment function using multiple goroutines, and each of them try to increase the value of x. So the mechanism of increasing the value of x includes getting the value of x, increasing its value by 1, then putting it back in its original location, basically. So basically modifying its actual value in its actual location. And while getting this value of x, so let's say current value of x is 10. So one goroutine takes the value as 10. At the same time, another goroutine also sees the value as 10, and the first goroutine increases it to 11, then puts it, while the second goroutine is also increasing it to 11 and then again puts it. So both of them are kind of doing the same work at the same time. So there is an illustration of this. So as you can see, let's say here the integer is our x, which is, let's say its current value is 17, and we have two goroutines, let's say in the form of thread A, thread B, and then the goroutine A reads its value as 17, and at the same time basically the thread B or the goroutine B reads the same value, then both of them increment the same value, and then both of them put back the same value one by one. So basically there is redundancy here, and when we try to do it 1000 times, then possibly there are like 20-30 cases of these sort of redundancy, which is why we're not seeing the exact value of 1000. And this is where mutex comes into picture. So mutex stands for mutual exclusion, which means it helps us ensure that a particular piece of code is executed by only one goroutine at one point of time. So I will now show you how to implement it to ensure we avoid race conditions. So this is basically the same code, except the fact that I am having a mutex variable here. So where m is sync.mutex, and I'm passing this the pointer to this mutex variable in every goroutine, and then whenever this increment function is getting called, we have two things for this mutex variable. One is called lock, the another one is called unlock. So whatever piece of code we write in between this lock and unlock is only accessible by one goroutine at any given point of time. So here inside this lock and unlock, I'm incrementing x. So which means that whichever goroutine, there are like 1000 times this function is going to be called, right, by 1000 different goroutines. So once one goroutine is accessing this, the other goroutines are basically blocked, and then that first goroutine does its work, then unlocks, and then only the other goroutines can do their locking and then do the modification and do their unlock. Okay, so in this case, if I run this code, you can see the value is the final value is 1000. So if I run it again, it is still 1000. So this is one example where mutex comes into picture when we want to avoid race conditions when it comes to accessing the value or modifying a value of a variable. I'll put a link to this code if you want to try it out. Let me know if you have any more questions. Thank you.